what was out there in the night sky, stared up at the stars in the hopes of seeing something out of the ordinary? Have you heard unexplainable noises coming from a vacant room, or watched a shadow cross the wall in front of you? Have you asked yourself if there is life after this one, or if you had life before? What about strange creatures that are mythical and elusive? Have you experienced deja vu or felt a prompting to leave because you felt you were in danger? If you have, you were on the fringe. Welcome to On the Fringe. I'm Philip.
And I'm Mark.
I'm Pam.
And I'm Jess.
And I'm Kristi.
All right. She picked it up. First show, she picked it up.
Hey, I got you.
Well, hey, this is the first time for our guest tonight, psychic medium, paranormal researcher, what else? I mean, you got a long list. Psychic healer,
quantum energy healer, yeah.
Oh, you got everything. But Kristi Campbell's with us tonight to come down and hang out.
What's up?
Share some thoughts and wisdom, and everybody say hi to Kristi. Let's see, chat's already open.
Hey
There
guys.
is Enzo.
Thanks for
There's
having
an owl.
me.
There's an owl wooing outside here.
Are you in
And hey, Chris.
Louisville, Enzo?
Hi, Chris.
I had that effect on people. I love the intro, by the way. It's so awesome. I was like, yeah. So
That was awesome. Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
comment on YouTube pop up last week saying, "Hey, this is awesome. Hey, Ashley."
hey everybody.
yeah, somebody, I guess I think their location was somewhere down in Australia, which I thought, man, that's awesome. that we were-
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
They're down there.
Nice
You're
far
like, yeah.
reach. The fringe reaches everywhere.
Absolutely, it does.
The fringe is
Let's
everywhere.
see.
The fringe is with you. No,
May the fringe be with you.
you with you. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
There you go. Let's just steal a line.
And there's my wife. My wife,
Hey.
Andrew. She says hi.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, we're all kind of dragging today. It's, I guess, been a long day for everybody.
Yes.
You know, so if I got a big pot of coffee or cup of coffee, everybody else is kind of dealing with it in their own way. You know, see, Mark,
Yeah.
he's got the Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Hey, starting the party. I like it.
Soda pop for adults.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Uh, Alicia Smith says, hi all, welcome Kristi.
Hi,
Thank
Alicia.
you.
I saw her
no,
today.
guys, Kristi is such an awesome person. I think we
Aw.
met, what 2 years ago at the Paracon? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
You have known Jess and Pam and Mark a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm telling you guys, first and foremost, she's the real deal. I was
Thank
blown away the first time I met her. She gave me a reading. And she's actually on one of our earlier podcasts sharing a story. The audio is not great on it because it was raining. And
Oh, the Mirabelle story.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
still trying to get things figured out. That was like our first on location recording.
It was fun.
And that was the
It
last Paracon we will ever hold outside.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. That
It
was,
It rained. It did rain.
Oh,
Lord.
that was something else.
It was. Mhm.
But I'm here to
Yes.
tell you all.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jess.
No, I was just gonna say we all had rashes on our arms from holding the tents up.
Yeah, it was.
All
think
that
that's my-
rain
Yeah.
running down our arms.
I think this will be my 4th Paracon this year because I went
Yeah,
to the
awesome.
first one
Oh, it
and then
is,
there's
isn't
two.
it?
Yeah, so
Wow. That's
yeah, good
awesome.
times.
Yeah, and see, she blew me away the first reading that year.
Oh. Thank you.
My oldest son here at this year's Paracon went with me and kind of hung out with us and all that. And she did a reading for my oldest son. He's like, "Holy cow, Dad!"
He's so
Like-
sweet.
She was just blown away. Then Kristi also did a past life reading for me, and I had to argue with Jess's mom because Jess's mom offered to pay for it. I was
Yes,
like,
she
no, I can't
did.
have you doing that. And she's like, no. So she did. And so I had to sit down, and Kristi gave me a reading.
She's one of my readings for her. She's like, you get a reading, and you get. She's like Oprah, you get a reading. Like, your mom is awesome. I love it.
Awesome.
No, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Then the night before the Paracon, you were with Doc, and he had a flat
Yeah.
tire.
That was
Yeah, that was
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's like,
Yeah.
lucky.
It was
Me and
a full
Enzo.
moon. It was a
Mhm.
full moon. We had just
Mhm.
left our hangout, and we got like half a mile down the road, and he's like, we heard bow, and we're like, what was that? And he's like, I think I lost a tire. I'm like, are you kidding me? We got to be back here at like 8 a.m. Like, let's go home. Like, thankfully, we had some good helpers to help us fix everything, though. It's like,
Yep.
oh my gosh.
me and Enzo ran up. There was only
Yeah.
about 2 miles from the house, and
Yeah.
me and Enzo ran up there. Then one of my neighbors, he actually stopped and helped. He had an air compressor and all that
did.
good stuff. And
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
He
yeah,
did.
it was an eventful evening. It was a fun evening. But it was eventful.
Yeah.
It was. I was
really-
dragging the next
really
day. I
was
was
a good
like,
evening.
oh, yeah.
What was funny was when I went back to the house to tell them, they got so excited to have something to go do. They were all like, yeah, we got this.
The
I was
rescue
on
rangers,
the
they were
phone, I
paranormal
was getting ready
rangers.
to turn around when I found out everybody'd gone out, and I said, "Well, I don't need to be there."
Yeah, I jumped in the side by side. Enzo followed me up there, and we got a handle.
Yeah.
Got
Oh, yeah. Quick, fast, and efficient.
Roadside
Yeah.
rescue.
Paranormal
Rescue
roadside
Rangers.
rescue. Yes. Yes.
That's great.
Exactly. Yeah. It was so much fun.
So, Kristi, do us a favor for everybody that don't know you. I mean, we're kind of already sharing a few stories about how we met and all that, and
Yeah.
things have happened between all of us. Can you let the audience know more about you?
Sure.
Kind of
I'd
introduce
love
yourself
to.
them.
Absolutely. So, hi, I'm Kristi. I feel like I'm like, I am a psychic medium and a quantum energy healer. I am legally blind. I was born with a condition called optic nerve hypoplasia, so I can't see much of anything except for what's like 5 feet in front of my face, and I'm not able to read. My phone talks to me, thankfully, and I've had this my whole life, and so my abilities, my senses have been heightened since birth, and I got into doing readings in high school just for fun. I could see who liked who and who didn't like who, and it was just kind of a fun kind of parlor trick to start with. And then I moved into starting my own business when I was in my 20s, and doing the whole bar scene, which people don't tip when they're drunk, just a FYI. So, but but it was fun. It was fun. And then I moved to Oklahoma when I was 29 from California. I'm from California originally. Don't hold that against me. And then I have been doing this I've been a citizen of Oklahoma for 18 years. So,
Wow.
yeah, so I've been doing it in this area for many times. And I travel. I work with families who've lost their loved ones. So a psychic is somebody who can tell you what's in the future and what's in the past. A medium is someone who can connect you with your lost loved ones, your pets. I love doing animal readings too; they're fun. And then I used to do Reiki, but I don't do it quite anymore because I found quantum energy healing, which Pam has been. She received some awesome quantum, and I think she liked it. It's one of my favorite things to do. I also do paranormal investigation as well. However, my schedule's been so crazy that I haven't done a lot lately, but I do love to investigate. I love to help people, and I tend to be the one who gets rid of all the bad things. So that's a bit about me in a nutshell. I'm a Taurus too, by the way. Just a sign in there. So that's me in a nutshell.
I'll say what blew my son away
Mhm.
when he went and got a reading from you.
Mhm.
He's just as well be completely blind. He can see light every now and again. He had an accident right before his 18th birthday,
Mhm.
and it cost him his sight. in that one eye anyway.
Yeah.
And you were giving him a reading, and he come and told me, he says, Dad, she like read everything. And she's like, she said something along the lines of, what's going on the left side of your face? I'm seeing darkness and all that. And he's like, holy cow,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was he was impressed, definitely. So
Yeah, it's really cool because I can't see. People are like, oh, well, psychics, they read your facial expressions or they read your body. I can't see any of that junk. So,
right.
and I always close my eyes to read because then I can focus better. And so, it's just what comes and what so everybody has what's called a book. It's your soul scroll, it's your spirit book, it's your life story written before you came here. And so when I do readings, I just tap into the aspects of what that is and like why you're with your family or why you have the partner you have, what roadblocks do you have, financial roadblocks, like things like that's kind of what I cover in a psychic reading. But I get flashes like a movie sometimes as well. So it just sometimes I get sounds, smells, feelings, so when I read for him, it was it was almost like just, the hand was covering my face. And it was like, oh, there's darkness there. So, yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, he was blown away. He's like, holy crowd. I mean, he was blown away. So I told him, I said, man, she is the real deal. Because I remember the first time you read me, my shoulder was bothering me. And nobody, I think I may have mentioned it to Mark.
Mhm.
And you told me you need to get your shoulder looked at. There's something going on there. And I was like, oh, what? Nobody else here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I hadn't known. I think I just met Pam pretty much right about that time.
Probably.
I'd only met Jess once, maybe twice
Mhm.
before that. So we didn't really know them all that well.
Right.
So nobody, maybe other than Mark, may have knew about my shoulder. I'm like, wow, that is crazy. So,
Mhm.
Yeah,
but it was
my wife and daughter were both blown away by their readings. So
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They still talk about it.
They're
yeah.
so sweet. I love it. That's what I'm here for. I honestly think the reason why I'm here is to help people because I could get into enough trouble on my own, but I think that, being able to feedback and give back to the community and help people, I think that's just, it's just what I love to do.
I remember when you and I were talking about Paracon, and I was like, what do you want on your sign? And you were telling me, and I was like, okay, what is quantum healing? Because somebody asked me, and I wasn't really sure. And you were like, you want me to show you? And I was like, sure, absolutely,
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It's amazing how it works and how you can feel it work, and
Yeah.
it's
Kristi gave me a freebie at the Paracon.
I did.
Well, you guys all know, I'm just a frantic blur with a
You were
clipboard.
running ragged, girl. You needed it.
Yeah.
You're like
And she kind of
Speedy Gonzalez
Yeah.
there.
she kind of pulled me to the side and was like, do you want a quick healing reading and kind of help you? And I was just like, I don't have any money. And she was just like, sit.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, ma'am. And
Yeah.
she worked her magic and I was like, okay. And she was just like, you'll feel it in just a few minutes, I promise. And I was like, okay. And then I was off and running because I actually had to start the next presentation. I think
Right.
Brian or somebody was getting ready to come on, and I was on the microphone introducing the next speaker when it happened, and because my hips had been really out and it had messed with my shoulder and it was messing with my feet, and all of a sudden, like, my whole body relaxed, kind of like when you climb in the shower when you've had a rough day and that hot water hits you and you just kind of automatically just kind of slump. It was so hard to keep up with what I was saying because I went from this like strained to it completely relaxing, and I really just wanted to kind of melt onto the floor in a puddle. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I got done and I was like, wow, I feel great now. I'm gonna go take a nap. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was hilarious. And she does these past life readings.
Mhm.
Everybody should get onto her website and go and have one. They're so
Okay.
interesting and they're fun to kind of hear, you know, all of this stuff. My husband, I keep trying to get him, he got a reading from Kristi on Facebook. She gets up occasionally and just little
Mhm.
freebies for her
Yeah.
people who are on her page.
Mhm.
And I was on one night watching the lives and I got a reading. I thought that was so interesting, everything she told me. But my husband walked in and I was
Mhm.
like, you should get
Oh,
a past life reading from Kristi. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, it's going to be a hoot. So she gave him his reading. And he is very sore about his reading because he thought he was going to get to hear. He thought he was going to get to hear how cool he was going to be, some like badass, you know, guy, or you know, that is not what he got.
No.
He got
Oh.
and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I'll hit the highlights. I think he was Scandinavian. He was
Mhm.
in a old fishing family, and he died at like 20 or 21 from a
Mhm.
simple fishing accident.
Yes.
And that was it. And he was like, I was a lame fisherman who obviously didn't know how to fish.
Right?
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Someday that's the one I want to do, is the past
Sorry.
life reading. Although I'll probably find out I was just some guy who sat in his chair and read books all the time. Wait, that's today.
Actually, you were a priest. You were a monk. You were a Buddhist monk at one point in your life, and
Nice.
Okay.
you used a lot of oils and you did a lot of healing yourself. So, yeah,
Very cool.
Cool.
Well, that
that's
is
why you
cool.
have. That's why you have knee issues now, because you're always kneeling and trying to, So.
Oh my gosh, she knew that I have knee issues.
We got a couple comments in the chat.
Yes.
Jennifer Leslie Rawson, she said she had a reading with you last year and you blew her away.
Hey, Jennifer.
Cool.
Enzo said get it early. She's always busy. He said he
Yeah.
don't recall a moment. Don't recall a moment during the Paracon that Kristi wasn't doing readings with someone. She was very popular. And then Ashley Evans said Kristi brought through our friend Deb, and I was able to relay the message to her sister. Those messages bring so much comfort. That's awesome.
That's so
Thank
cool.
you so much, you guys. You're amazing.
But yeah, going back to the past lives, I mean, I did that, and I was a monk as well. Is what you told me.
Mm-hmm. You were, and you knew each other in that lifetime.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But I took like a vow of silence for like 60 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And
People
then
just wish I would take a vow of silence.
So let me caveat that really quick. So you took your vow of silence, and then he's over here trying to make you like laugh, like he's like trying to bust it, like make you bust out of your vow. That was his job in life, is to like totally like just like goof off and try to make you like, you'd grin and you like you'd cough to avoid your laughter, but that was about it. Yeah, he was like the heckler over there trying to be like, so.
That sounds legit,
Wow.
actually.
It kind of does,
Right.
doesn't it? Funny.
but
So when you
Well-
see past life regressions, do you see personalities that get carried through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
Lives?
carry our past lives through with us, and like it just, we build upon it with each life, or we so those personalities from hundreds of years ago that are just like sharply hewn are now fine-tuned, and it's like, oh, this is like, it's like adding and adding, so, and it's when I do past life readings, I can see crystal clear that person, what they're wearing, their life, and it's almost like watching a movie. And so it's cool for me because I'm like, this is good. And until they have a violent death or they have something, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want to watch that particular thing,
That's so cool. So interesting.
Chris said she was going to say if Mark took a vow of silence, that's why he talks so much now.
Oh my goodness.
I do talk a lot.
That's
Way more than I should.
Wait, are you a Libra?
No, I'm a Virgo.
Okay, that's close enough. That's yeah.
But
no thing even. I have my roommate's a Libra, so I love Libras, but they love to chat. So I was like, "Are you a Libra?"
That's funny.
I don't think I've ever met a stranger ever.
Yeah, that's
No,
a Virgo
Probably
I
thing.
don't think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
yeah,
That's okay.
I know
Always
for
funny.
me, the one I thought was the funniest is you said I was a woman 2 times in my past lives.
Yes.
And I think you said the last one I had like 16 kids and I was done.
hmm
That would do it.
Anybody would be
Absolutely
done
it
after
would.
16. Woo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a
I
lot of
quit.
babies.
Yeah.
That is
You
a
got-
lot of babies.
I'm never gonna be a woman ever again. I want to be a man because I don't want to have that coming out of me 16 times. No, thank you.
Hilarious.
Enzo asked if I lived in his shoes.
So
Miss Scarlett, I'm not birthing no more babies. You know. Uh,
No, it's a
and
lot of fun.
yeah. Also, I wanted to touch on the quantum really quick. So I don't know. So when I do quantum, I tend to go through and I can pull out trauma. And it's snapshots of trauma in the body. So when you get a healing with me, we go through not only like pulling out your physical pain, but also the snapshots of like, say you've had a car accident and you had trauma for that, or you had something happen when you were a child. And when we pull that out, it pulls the pain out as well. So it's kind of a cool. I love it because it's very fascinating. It's educational, and it also helps that person heal from that trauma.
It does. It works too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I have a student. I think I talked about this in the last one, and he actually does. Shout out to him because he listens to these. But he can tell like what totem animals you have, and like he does crossover with Reiki, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Another comment. My wife, she said, "Didn't she say we were married in a past life?" I believe you did.
Yes, but she was the husband and you were the wife.
Oh.
I think it's still that same way.
Oh.
I'm just kidding you. I'm just kidding.
But are you?
No.
Feeling the love, feeling the love.
So cool.
So Kristi, out of all the things that you can do, what's your favorite? What's your favorite like mediumship, I guess you would say? What's your
Quantum,
favorite
for
one to
sure.
do? Quantum.
I love to do quantum. Yeah, because it's so beneficial because like pain goes away. I mean, sometimes it comes back, but like mostly like my track record, I've only been doing quantum for 2 years, and it's the most effective thing. I mean, I love doing mediumships too and helping people get answers from their loved ones. But my favorite thing is quantum for sure. I love it.
So when you do quantum and you pull the trauma out, where does the trauma go? Does it funnel through you? You know what I mean?
So yeah.
How do you get rid of it? How do you get rid of
So I have what's called an energy trash can. And what it is it's something that I create. So when I do energy work, I open my hands up and I create little windows so that nothing can get through my body. And then I create this little ball of energy. It's same thing as like if you're crossing somebody over and opening a portal, that kind of thing. And I put my energy trash can near me. It's huge and it's bottomless. So whenever I work on somebody and I'm pulling out the energy, for example, I just dump it in this energy trash can. It gets recycled into positive energy and shifted out into the universe.
That is awesome. Okay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of.
What kind of toll does that take on you?
It doesn't, because it's not. I'm not taking anything in. If I'm doing like 20, 30 a day, which I have done in the past, I'm tired. But I usually, if I'm doing like a handful a day, it's not doing the mediumship stuff tires me more because I'm focusing on that person and the connection, and it's like trying to get the messages from that person to this. It's like playing tag, but quantum is just like a free flow energy. And I have a bunch of tools that I use, and it's like I have a little squeegee and I got a little scooper and all these fun things. So
that's awesome.
I love it. Let me see. So we got this. My allergies are just, whew, goodness.
It's about that time of year.
I
Yeah,
think
you're
everybody's
close.
having
It
issues
is.
right now.
Well, I just got over being sick. I went to Texas to go see my little cousin, and I got back, and I'm like, I got this nasty, cruddy cold and stinky cough still, but tis the season to be sick, I guess, or have issues.
It's been going around
It has.
everywhere.
Everything's been going around, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Flu and some nasty
Flu
stuff.
B has been real
Yeah.
big this year.
Oh.
Has it?
Yeah.
And COVID, I know that.
Mhm.
We just had a
So
guy get back after 2
RSV's
weeks.
been bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
COVID looks-
RSV a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah. COVID looks really creepy in the body. It's like gray and kind of like creepy crawly strands of like hair almost. And when I work on people, it's like
That's weird.
it's like old like hair. It's weird. The flu is blue and it's chunky. Like it's like almost like blue cheese.
Oh.
that's-
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like blue cheese.
Oh, that's all right. I do.
I can't eat before I do quantum because I'm like, my salad went south. You know.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, gross.
But the thing is sometimes I smell things with quantum. Like this man, he had an impacted disc, and so I like smelt his like the infection in his back, and I'm like, you know, that's gross.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that'd be bad. Man.
Yeah.
Gross.
So when you go on a paranormal investigation,
Mhm.
what kind of tools in your arsenal do you draw on?
Well, predominantly, I'm really good at detecting if there's any spirits in the space. So I'm more so I sniff out all the spirits. I sniff out all the activity. If it's residual, I'm kind of the bloodhound of sorts. So predominantly, I use my intuition, and also I tend to, because I can't see very well, I'm usually led around by people. So I'm just like, go left, go right. So like I have I'm a human seeing eye person, but I'm the spirit finder. I'm like, bring the EMF over here, put the REM pod right there. You know, so I'm good at organizing that kind of stuff.
I always thought it was interesting. The very first time I met you was I lived at a different house in town, and you came in the front door and you were like, "Hi, I'm Kristi. Did you know you have 3 spirits in your house?" And I was like, "I'm Pam," and yes, I did. It was so cool.
The thing that blew me away is the story that you told me later about the water.
Yeah,
that freaked me out.
Yep, because I lived in a pretty big house at the time, and our basement had flooded, and Kristi didn't know that. I don't really know if anybody knew that at the time. And my ex was in the basement getting water out of the carpet down there. And one of the first things she said was, you know, do you know that you're overwatered and there's something with water? And I was like, yeah, there is something with water. Definitely something with water happening.
She told me that, I think last year. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It was wild. And then we had gone out to a cemetery after that, and there was some really crazy stuff that happened then too.
Oh
yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was when you were able to validate for us that what we were sensing out there was definitely not human and was some kind of elemental creature.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone has heard us talk about it on this particular podcast, but we have a story about, and I think we talked about it in Presents actually last time. One of our team members, Mike, he had a voice recorder with him, and he had set it right at the entrance of this place where we knew this creature pretty much stayed. And we had gone on up into the cemetery and had investigated for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then when we were leaving, he jumped out and picked up the recorder. And on the way home, he's listening to it. And he was like, "Oh my gosh." And we were like, you know, what? And he was like, not even 3 minutes in, and something, you can hear it tromp through the grass, walk up, and you can hear it like, you know, breathing. And then it turned the recorder off. And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" So we were like, how strange that it would, you know, be able to do that. And
Yeah.
he was trying to find that recording, and he thinks he lost it. He doesn't know where it's at now. And I hate that because it was so cool.
Yeah, it was a cool
Yeah, it
recording.
It was.
Yeah.
You could hear it. It was weird. You could hear it just kind of like, just breathing, but like I don't know, almost a primate sound.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
I don't know. That reminded me of. Did you guys hear about Southeast Oklahoma? There's a group that are investigating Bigfoot. They have like a cabin, and like they're like living or like staying on premises, and they're actually studying Bigfoot. It's pretty cool.
There's like a groups of them come in different shifts. Is that the group?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to say Small Town Monsters might have done something on that because they were originally going to study something about the Brown Mountain and ended up down here with these other guys and had more activity down there than they didn't even know they were going to have activity. If I remember correct.
I think I've heard something about it.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know Brian Terrell, I think you met him. He's our resident Bigfoot dude from Enid. A couple hours away. But yeah, he's had some really interesting interactions down in that area.
It's crazy. I'm fascinated by that, so
it is. I'm fascinated by all of it for sure. But yeah.
So I'm going to bring this up now because one of the reasons why we initially thought to bring Kristi on was because at our previous show, we did predictions for the coming year. And we were sitting there thinking, wouldn't it be so interesting to get a medium's point of view on what might be coming up for the year ahead of us? And I know I've been chit-chatting with Kristi with it just a little bit, and she had mentioned that something that she had already previously predicted has already come true.
Cool.
Yes. So there's a big change, and I don't know if it's come to fruition quite yet, but in the royal family, there's a changing of hands that are going to be kind of coming about. I'm not sure if it's the king stepping down or changing hands, but there's something about an end of reign and beginning of a new reign with Prince William being king.
Wow.
Yeah, I just seen today that Prince Charles, or I guess King Charles or whatever, I don't know, that has been diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, he's not been in good health.
Yep.
For a long time.
He just got out of the hospital. He had something with his prostate.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think he is stepping down for his health. Yeah.
That was just announced to me too.
There's a lot of things that are coming to fruition this year. I know a lot of people. I've lost clients over presidential debates because I'm not of the favorable opinion of things apparently, but yeah, that's a fun story. But so I had these older ladies, and they wanted to know back when Trump was getting ready to be elected, and they wanted to, or when Biden got elected, and they're like, "Oh, is Trump going to be elected again?" I said, "No." They're like, "Oh, well, we're going to call and laugh at you when it happens." And then Biden got elected, and they never called me again.
Oh.
They're not happy. But in regards to like that kind of thing, I think we're going to be very surprised that we're not going to have any big parties that are going to win the election, or if they do, it's going to be because of some monkey business, and it's going to be found out later. A lot of natural disasters. We've already had earthquakes this year. Something big with flooding in Asia. There's a lot of things with the United States. Some sort of issue with Alaska, and even more of the snow cap being removed. California is flooding right now, but it's going to be almost like flood and then like a horrible summer. The Midwest, we're going to have a lot of locusts this summer, a lot of just bad, more bugs, which I am not a fan of.
Great.
Yeah.
We already had apocalypse at work.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're also saying this year they're supposed to have like the cicadas are like
that's what it might be. Yeah.
Two huge batches supposed to hatch this year.
It's like the 7-year and like the 32-year or whatever it is at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
But in the
Cicadas are so
positive,
loud.
they are, yeah. But in the positive, there's going to be some really good health discoveries for cancer, for really hard to treat cancers. There's going to be a lot of new developments with the brain and like working with lasers or with some sort of like waves, like sound waves, to reach certain parts of the brain. There's going to be a lot of really interesting aspects in regards to um, people, just a lot of like like 3 to 5 celebrities are just going to be like boom, 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 gone. And I have a feeling that Cher may be one of them, and I love her.
Aw.
So
Aw.
yeah. So there's a lot of highs and lows this year, but I feel like that predominantly we're going to be pretty even keeled. But there's going to be some really interesting AI interaction stuff, some bot stuff. There's going to be a lot of interesting things along with our reality and the government opening up information to the public that has been held for many, many, many years. And I know that we've had that with like alien interaction and stuff that's kind of coming to fruition, but we're going to also have a lot more information about the planets around us. Like, there's a second planet that's orbiting around us that's identical to Earth, and so we're going to find out about that. There's just a lot of interesting, notable things this year that are going to be, the economy is going to be a bit worse, but it's going to get better in September. So we're going to be getting a bit better, but gas and groceries are going to get more and more expensive until around that time. So get ready, y'all.
Stock up now, huh?
Yeah.
Stock up
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the wrong show for that.
I know it. Enzo said he wonders if that's if that's Elon's Neuralink. And then
yeah, it definitely could be.
Yeah, then he said the economy always gets better or before election time.
It does.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, because they're always trying to do something to make it better, even if it's just short term.
Yeah, and I don't see Biden being reelected, but I don't know if I see Trump being reelected either. So there might be a dark horse.
I would love to see a good third candidate party go in and just show the two-party system. You don't own it.
Yeah.
So there's rumors that I'm hearing that Biden obviously won't make it to the election because of his support. He's not very popular.
He may pass away as well. I keep seeing a stroke around.
Yeah, he's not very healthy.
August. Yeah.
But they're talking possibly Bill Obama sliding in.
I mean, Obama is still kind of helping, I think, in a certain direction.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, so I think that he's never really left. He's just been kind of like, if anything, I think that he's kind of a placeholder and he's trying to help with, because I really do believe that Biden has dementia. And I think that it's kind of cruel of, what's going on. But I do feel like that Obama has always been around. So he may come back around. And I think that might be, I don't know if I see him being the dark horse, but I do feel like there's somebody that is going to gain popularity because of social media and the people. It's like, I'm for the people kind of thing. So
hey,
are you saying Taylor Swift is going to be president?
No. But she might make it to the Super Bowl, though. You never know. Go 49ers.
I want to start a Bigfoot for president campaign. So maybe Bigfoot will win.
Does it get any more dark horse than that?
No, I don't think so.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
No, but I would love to actually see a good third party candidate come along that is actually capable of doing the job.
Well, it's like, come on, guys. One of them's 81 and the other one's 77. You cannot tell me that there are not younger people that are better qualified for the position than those two that are leading the race.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Politics. Who can guess?
Yeah.
Yes.
I try
That
to
was a
stay
wet
out
blanket,
of
wasn't it?
it. Yeah,
I
really.
know. I'm like,
kinda was.
wah,
Darn
wah. Sorry. Mm.
No.
Pam for president. Oh God,
Right in,
no.
Pam. Right in,
Hey,
Pam.
Good
Hey,
Lord.
You got my
You've
vote.
got my vote. You've got my vote.
vote me in. I'll be like, I'll rule the country with my psychic fist, right?
Absolutely.
Blind, but intuitively ambitious. There you go.
Absolutely.
There you-
100%.
There you go.
I'd vote for you.
Oh,
Definitely.
thanks.
So how far out, I guess, can you see?
So usually about a year out.
Okay.
Sometimes if I'm looking at someone's book, individual, I can see between 3 to 5 years out.
Okay.
And it just depends on how open that person is to receiving the information. And also, I mean, I think the scariest thing that I've ever predicted was August, and I was hanging out with my friend in September, and it was August, and so I told my friend, I said, I see planes crashing, I see things happening, and like a month earlier, I told her this. In September, 9/11 happened, and she called me, and she's like, did you see? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you said that. I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, you're like, I don't remember the things that come out of my mouth, because if I did, my head would explode. So that was like the craziest, scariest one of those things. It was like, terrifying. So
It's wild.
some predictions are scary, some are funny, some are,
So if you have, I mean, if you know one, what is
Mhm.
your most hopeful prediction?
I really believe that the people are going to gather together and unify. And I think that Texas is kind of starting that in a sense in regards to unification. And it's not completely about blocking off borders. It's about being together on something and unifying over a certain topic and kind of rebelling against something that they know is, whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But I think that our country is going to band together over time and really be unified, and there's going to be a lot more kindness in the world, especially with the United States.
Amen, sister.
We
Yeah,
need
Thank
it.
you.
Goodness.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody, you see, I don't believe, and we kind of spoke to it on What If Tomorrow last week, and
Mhm.
I don't see this becoming a second civil war. I don't see that. I
No.
mean,
Yeah.
just looking at things from what's going on. I mean, I think there's a push for fairness. There's a push for, hey, government, get out of the way. It's time. You're
Yeah.
overstepping your bounds, and
Mhm.
I would absolutely agree with what you're saying. I think the general population are tired of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
And I mean, I
Yeah,
think
people
that
can
it's
only
like,
take so much.
Yeah.
yeah, we want to emancipate in a sense from some of the old ideals or some of the negative, toxic things, that are, we're being held back from having information that is very like futile. Like we need to have like the health information about, curing cancer or curing diseases. We also need to have information on, like, are we safe from other countries? And that's being withheld from us. And so as instead of having a governing body, the people we can, come together, and I feel like there's going to be some sort of declaration of sorts that it's not necessarily within the next 5-10 years, but maybe in like 20, so 30 years, we're going to actually have more of a literally free country free of government. It's going to be individual bodies governing each state, and it might be the people that are electing them.
That's interesting.
Sounds more like
Mhm.
how Europe is, where they've got the separate
Exactly.
countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Russia wants to help Texas. I don't know how I feel about that, but
That's scary.
yeah,
yeah.
especially when they're saying the deal when we bought Alaska from them
Yeah.
didn't right or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've complained about that since day 2 of the deal.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's really ours, but no, you sold it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy
But-
stuff.
Yep.
I'm excited about over the next couple of years. There's going to be a lot of changes with like helping vision and hearing,
Yes.
and so I might be able to drive a car before I'm 60.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
amazing?
That
Well,
would
they're
be
talking about,
amazing.
That'd be terrifying though. Yeah.
so,
I'd probably have road rage. Honestly, I'd be like, "Get out of my way!"
I've got too many places to be. Too fast. Move.
Yes.
I'll be
Yes.
cheering you on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll get one of those
I'll be in the
flying
back
cars when
seat
they
like
come out.
this. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Hold on, Pam.
I think
We're
Pam
taking a
was getting
left.
ready to tell us. We were actually talking about that yesterday.
We were, yeah.
We were sitting on the couch just talking about that yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's gonna be some big changes. It's gonna be good. I do want a flying car though. I think that'd be nice and help me get around traffic. Although maybe not. I don't know.
they
there's
are
too many of
coming online with flying cars now. So
Yeah, they
It's the
are.
Jetsons,
And-
man.
I mean, I thought about buying one of those self-driving cars, but I thought, what if it drives me to the wrong place? And I'm like, oh crap, sorry. I want to go to Taco Bell, not Mexico. Right?
Pam autopilot.
I said Taco Bell, not Tijuana. Dang it!
I mean, I hear they have really good food in Tijuana, so that's
They
not a bad
do.
deal either.
They do.
Not
They
too
do
bad.
have, and they have good. They got good tequila. They have cool little lizards that hang out around the restaurants. Yeah.
Right? I mean, why not?
Good produce. Lots of good produce.
I mean, did you say little lizards that run the resturants? That's what it sounded like you said.
Well,
You've been
maybe.
drinking a lot
I
of
mean,
tequila, haven't you?
some of those little old ladies are kind of mean. They're like, you never order the water in Mexico. I mean, trust me. I didn't know that fact. And then
Oh
the
no!
ride back was fun. Mhm.
Oh no.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was
Montezuma's
like
revenge.
yeah, it was a 7-hour drive back from Tijuana up to like we were staying in LA, and with traffic and everything, I was like, pull over. My friend's like, you want me to get you some diapers? I'm like, maybe.
Oh.
Bummer.
And that's before
But-
Depends were a thing. So sorry, guys.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
No, on this show, I mean, that's pretty much normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
Yeah.
We got a question from one of the people in the chat. It's Chris, Mark's wife.
Yeah.
She said, when just hanging out with friends or going out to shop or eat, do you have spirits come through, or can you block them out for a break?
They're always around. They're usually really respectful, unless it's like, tell me, like I need to tell you that this person over here. I've had situations where I told this story probably a million times, but I don't know if I've told it to you guys, but when I was in my 30s, I was in California visiting family. It was around Christmas. And we were going through the drive-through in Starbucks, and this woman was like, you need to tell her that she's pregnant. You need to tell her that she's pregnant. And one of my best friends, Shauna, she's like, what's the matter? You look constipated. And I'm like, I have to say something, but I don't want to say it. She's like, to what? To me? And she's like, I'm like, no, to the lady at the. So we get up there, and she's like, we do our orders, and she's like, okay. I'm like, I'm so sorry to do this to you, but you're pregnant, and I think your grandma wants you to know. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I'm a psychic. I'm so sorry. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, she probably isn't even pregnant. They're probably like, because sometimes they trick you. They like, like try to keep you on your toes. So a year later, we're going back. It's like springtime, and we go to the same Starbucks near my grandmother's house, and we're walking in this time, and this lady goes, oh my gosh, it's you. And I'm like, hi. She's like, do you remember telling me I was pregnant last year? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I was drinking heavily and taking opioids. I stopped completely, and I've got a healthy and beautiful baby girl. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh.
She's like, anything you want,
Awesome.
anything you want is free. Whatever you want. I'm like, I want the whole place. No, but
That is amazing.
but she comped our drinks for like 5+ years. Like we'd come in, and she's like, drinks on me, and I'm like, no. She's like, nope, it's on me because you saved my life. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome.
and every year I get to see a picture. I go back to Christmas and around April for my grandma's birthday. So like every 6 months to a year, I'd go and house Shelly. Oh, she's beautiful, and she's showing me pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So
That's
that
amazing.
was a cool
Helping
experience.
people like that's got to be a good feeling.
It is. But then there are the shisty spirits who like to trap me in elevators until I agree to help them. That I don't like. This man was like, you need to go tell my mother that I love her. And I'm like, and I was with my former boss, and she's like, why is the button not working? Why is it? I'm like, give me a second. She's like, oh, you're having one of those spirit things, aren't you? I'm like, yep. So I'm like, what do I need to say? So he's like, I'm not going to let you go until you agree. And I'm like, well, I'll just walk up the stairs. He's like, I'll trip you. I'm like, damn,
Wow.
dang, so,
Wow.
yeah. So I'm like, man, like, okay, fine. So I go upstairs. We go see our friend who's in the hospital. And, I leave my boss there, and he's like, come with me. So he leads me down the hallway. I'm like, lead me down the garden path to my own doom, So this old lady, beautiful woman, I think she was from Portugal. She beautiful dark hair, like you could tell that she was older, but not a line on her face. Gorgeous woman. I walk in, I'm like, hello. And she's like, oh, are you with the staff? And I'm like, no, I need to tell you that your son has a message for you. She's like, oh, honey. I said, yes, I know he's passed on, but he wants you to know that he loves you and that he's with you. And she's like, I've been begging and praying for an answer that that he would be around. And I'm not well, and I'm not going to be here much longer myself, and I've been begging to see him, and you coming in and telling me that he loves me, he's with me, gives me peace that I can pass away. And I kid you not, so I gave her a hug. I was like, oh my gosh. I cried, she cried. I left. I came back. I went back to my friend's room. We came out. They were calling Code Blue. She was gone.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
she just needed that peace, and I was like, okay, I got you. So
That's wild.
yeah, that was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, there might be a little tear in my eye.
Yeah, yeah. I was sobbing down because I was like, what room is it? What room is it? They're like 203. I'm like, so I was really upset. Cried all the way to the car, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. So, and he just said thank you and disappeared, and I'm just like, I hope that they're together. You know what I mean? So
So do they like give you a glimpse of the other side? Do you know what it's like? I mean, are we going to be sitting on clouds strumming harps? Or well, I'm
no.
not, but
Well, me neither, girl. No, I actually
good. We'll be wreaking havoc
be
together
buddies.
somewhere.
Chaos chicks, yes. No, I
Woohoo.
actually died when I was 7, and got to see the other side. I had a near-death experience when I was a little girl. I almost had a burst appendix, and I went to the hospital, and they put me under anesthesia, and I was fine for a bit, and then I just remember waking up, and I was like floating above the hospital bed, and they're trying to put the heart things on you, like to shock you back.
Uh-huh.
And I just turned, and there's a light above me, and I just floated up there, and there was a really nice man and a woman, and the woman was like, come to me, come on, come home. And I was running towards this woman. I don't know who she was. And the man put it in his arm. He's like, no, nope, it's not your time. It's not her time. She has much to do. And I'm like, but I want to go. And he's like, because my father had just left my mother and myself, and it was a hard time, and I wanted to die. It was a very sad experience. But then he's like, you got to go back. And I'm like, okay, well, I got nosy. So I went and I checked out what my mom was doing, and she was fighting with her boyfriend because he wanted to leave because he was bored. And she's like, my baby's in surgery. And so he's like, and you're my only ride. And my grandparents had just arrived. And so he's like, yeah, I'm out of here. I don't really like your parents. So he left. Then I snapped back into my body, and I wake up, and I told my mom, I'm like, I died. And she's like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yeah, I did. Just for a minute. The other side is gorgeous. I've gone there through meditation many times, and there is beautiful. I mean, I've had spirits describe it to me, but it was gorgeous. So I told my mom, I'm like, well, yeah, I did, because I saw you, and you were fighting with so and so about him wanting to leave, and her mouth was on the floor. Like she was always afraid of my gifts. So she's like, don't tell nobody. Like you just don't keep it to yourself, and you just
Kind of a dirty secret thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
don't
not something you
tell
talk
Right.
about.
kind of like
Well,
with the Appalachians, like if you see it, no, you didn't, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
you're
Like,
right. Yeah,
mhm,
for sure.
yeah.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's wild. I've always wondered. I think. Well, I don't know about Phil. I may know this, but I'm not sure. If I do, I don't remember. But I know the other three of us. We've all had a near-death experience, and we've always wondered if that kind of played into,
Mhm.
what.
Intuition.
Yeah, what our intuitions are, and
Absolutely. I
well,
think
I know it
so.
plays into the fascination of
Yeah.
Right.
what we do and
I don't,
what we research. So
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
I don't know that I really have. I
Mhm.
know one time I was stupid when I was a kid, and I jumped on the hood of my mom's car when my sister was driving it. She slammed on the brakes.
Oh.
I flew off and busted my
ooh,
head. Definitely had a
Oh no.
concussion,
ouch.
but I don't know that I had
Yeah.
a near death experience.
Mhm.
But yeah, I can't say that I have, but
Mhm.
I've always, everybody knows our stories. I've had a lifetime of experiences.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that really is more out of heredity.
Mhm.
My grandmother and just kind of down through that, because a lot of the members of my family have had experiences, because you kind of sit around and talk about stuff like that. And,
Oh
like
yeah,
a
for
second
sure.
sight type stuff.
Yeah.
right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Your intuition, and you kind of learn to follow your gut, because that was the biggest thing with my grandma. She would always
Mhm.
tell us, listen to your gut,
Mhm.
in everything, just follow your intuition, about
Yeah.
people or whatever. So
Yeah.
I had the
My whole
grandma that was always like, keep the red geraniums around your front door. And I
Oh,
was like, what does that even mean? And then later I found out that it does mean something. So I thought that was really,
protection.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it
I
was
had
always
my whole
cool.
Well, it
family.
will definitely protect your house from me because I am deathly allergic to geraniums
Oh no.
of
It's a
all
good thing the ones I
versions.
had out there were fake then, huh?
Yeah.
All
My
right,
whole
babe.
family was intuitive, but nobody wanted to use it. My grandma had prophetic dreams. My mom thought she was schizophrenic until I told her I can hear them too, and everybody else just doesn't really use their gifts that much. So,
Yeah.
So do you think everybody has a gift, like a sixth
mhm.
sense gift, whether it
Yeah.
be psychic, or
Mhm.
empathetic, or something like that?
Mhm. I do. I think that we all just have our volume set at different frequencies, and so we can't always tell what we've got. But if we focus on it, work with it, we can turn that volume up to where we can connect and communicate. Mhm.
We found out it just in our group, trying different techniques. I think all of us have found
Mhm.
different things that we're really good at. Mhm.
Yeah. I,
Miss Estes. I
Yep.
know. I want to try that sometime. That'd be so much
You
fun.
need to. It is so cool. Yeah. It's
I
been
Yeah.
really think
yeah,
that
really neat.
most people have an experience at some point in their life and it scares them
Mhm.
to the point they block it all out from then on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because,
I mean,
I've told my deja vu story many times on here that was so crystal clear that I
mhm,
freaked myself and my friend out. And I
mhm,
don't think I've had any other experiences since then. I think I freaked myself out to the point where I just
mhm.
can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had
I could be wrong too. So
My
no,
wife,
no, like
But
my
that would
wife
be
did.
handy. Is that Andrea?
Yeah, she said, I always know when somebody's lying to her, and
good to the
people
lie
people don't
detector.
like that.
Yeah, that would be
Mhm.
extremely handy.
Yeah. Um, I forgot if we were talking about quantum or like the is it quantum? Were you the time loop like that kind of stuff? We were talking about that. I think a while ago. Oh, I think Pam. I think you and I were talking about it. Maybe it was Jess, one of us. I
Uh-huh.
had that
Yeah.
happen when I came back from Texas. I was on a flight it had like 20 people on it. It was a tiny, tiny airplane. And that flight was supposed to be for an hour, and it went for like almost like 5 hours. I'd fall asleep, wake up, it'd be the same time. And for like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was like a creepy. So we all have experiences, and they can be scary. They can be interesting. They can be just wild. You know what I mean? So I think that it's just if we let them affect us to a degree that we're like afraid to tap back into that. But if we're open to it and we're like, okay, you know what, that was scary, but why was that scary? Why do and tapping into your feelings and emotions and the kind of the psychology of why that's fear bringing, you know?
Right.
We had some interesting stuff, I know. And I kind of think we've talked to you about this before, but I can't remember. My memory's terrible.
Girl, me too.
And you don't even have
Awful.
the tag Swiss cheese for brains on your.
Right?
Right?
Ah.
That's what the subtitle under my name says.
Oh,
Says
really?
I lose words.
Oh.
There's out by the disappearing house area that we have.
Mhm.
We had gone out. It was me, Mike, Mark, and Jess, and we were doing rod sessions out there and different things, and ended up having something come through that's saying traveler was a big thing that tagged me as a traveler. And we kind of think we know what that is, but we're not 100%. What would your take be on that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's what was the like? I'm not sure
In
what the context was.
the context?
Oh, and was it like a spirit box or something, or?
No, this was this was with I think it was a rod section.
It was the Ovulus.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it kept popping up traveler in
Well,
And it's yeah. This isn't the only time this has happened. 3 or 4 times where at different places and with different means, ovuluses and things like that. Traveler has popped up for Pam.
Well, that's you're a little bit of a time traveler. Yeah.
Right? Isn't that weird though? We don't know if something just, and there is some things that come down through my family, mostly through my dad's side, and so I don't know. Just thought it was weird.
Just saying, if you could take me with you back to the 80s, I'm gonna buy some stock in Apple and all those good things.
Yeah, let's go.
If I could do it, I would, man. That would be
like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters edition.
But it's interesting when it comes to like, the disappearing house thing that it only,
I think you've got some special juice, some juju, something there that just allows you to kind of pick up things. And maybe it's not necessarily time travel, but maybe it's that you can see things from times lost and that you're kind of a finder of things. So maybe you're like you could find the traveling objects or something.
Maybe, I don't know. It's
everything weird that I have encountered as an adult has been in Pam's company.
I mean, she's just a special lady. Yeah.
So,
that's true, because Mark and I were at one location when we had a time slip too.
The wheelchair thing, right?
Yeah, the
it was a
wheelchair
bad
thing.
Yeah, it was a bad one.
That was freaky.
Yeah.
That was freaky.
I remember you telling me that. That was crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're just one magical moment there, Pam.
Something.
Kristi has some very amazing time slippy missing time stories too.
Oh yeah.
Kristi had me on Kristi has her own podcast that she runs too, and I came on and we got to do like a full fun time with like time slips and missing time.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
And you should like pick one of those stories and tell it, Kristi, because she's got some awesome ones.
Cool.
I think the craziest one was, and I need to get back to my podcast. I'm trying to do like what you guys do with the video kind of thing, because I want to have co-hosts. I don't like doing it alone. It's kind of boring. But I like having guests on, like you guys.
Yay.
I think the creepiest one. It wasn't me that had the time slip, but it was my roommate. So Desi. We were living in Nowata, Oklahoma, Nowata, Oklahoma, and I was babysitting for some kids, and I sent her out to get lunch, and it was like, I don't know, like noon, and the mom was meant to be back around 2:00. Well, I got busy with the kids. I made them lunch because they had specific things they ate, and I'm like, I'm kind of hungry, but maybe, I didn't have a chance to look at my phone until like I heard the mom coming through the door. I'm like, oh, you're home early. She's like, it's 2:30. I'm like, wait, where's Desi? And I was like, I got worried. I'm like, I sent her out for food like 2 hours ago. And she was like, what? So we got in the car and went looking for her. And there's this place called the Depot that's in that area. And there's train tracks right near it. And she was walking back and forth on the train tracks, like in front of the train tracks, and then like kind of walking close to it. And it was an active train line. So the food was cold. She's been there for 2 hours. She had no clue. She was going the wrong direction.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
And so I was like, Des. And so she's like, huh? And like she snapped out of it. And I'm like, what? She's like, oh, sorry. I guess I was something. I'm like, you've been gone for 2 hours. And she's like, I have. And like the food, like everything was cold. And so we kind of jumped it. But it was just really weird. And I'm like, I wonder if it was either like because she didn't have to cross the train tracks to get back to the house. The train tracks were like a catty corner to like in front of the restaurant. So she went out the wrong door even to come like back. So it was like, I don't know, something, a lot of spirits like to hang out on the train tracks. It's got a lot of energy with all that iron and stuff, but that was freaky.
That is strange. I remember that restaurant. I've ate there before. It's not there anymore.
No. Well, and the food was, I mean, it was okay, but it was.
Yeah.
I always
it was
have.
alright.
And
I always
that's
got
why
kind of
it's not
sick.
there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Depot,
Exactly.
the Depot vamoosed for sure, but yeah. But yeah, it's been a crazy ride for sure.
That's strange.
So Kristi, would you mind if we turned over maybe some questions or requests or something
Please.
from the chat?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Anything they want.
Okay. Well, hey, everybody in the chat, if you got questions, you got comments, whatever.
If you want to know what your past life was, I mean, I'm happy to do that too. So
yeah, if you have any requests, anything like that, throw it in the chat.
I get a freebie. I intended to pay for it. So.
Do a couple of readings. That'll be.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever y'all want.
You have to do me too on a past life. I've never had it done by you.
Well, while we're waiting, Pam, go for it.
Well, you were my sister.
Yeah.
I was Mark's sister.
Oh.
Yeah. So one of the ones that were really interesting is that your name was Marie-Claire de Levon, and you were a baker in Paris. You had a bakery, and you were also a chocolatier, so you like to make chocolates.
Ooh.
And you never married, and you had a sister who was very jealous of you. She married a man early in life. She had like 8 kids, and she was just like, why don't you share the business with me, basically? And this is somebody that you know in this life that is not super close to you in the family. And so you were getting older and like in your 60s, and some sort of rumor started. And this is like, I believe it was like in the 16 or 1700s. Like it was like sometime around that time. And somebody, the sister, was like, "Oh, well, she's making the chocolates out of children." And yeah. So the police or whomever came out to investigate, and because everybody loved your chocolates, like it was like chocolates, the truffles, the cookies, like everything. So they dissected it, and they proved that they're like, they shut you down for a time.
Was I really putting children in the chocolate?
No.
Oh, thank God. I was like, oh God, where is this going?
No, they figured out that was a lie. And so because she was so jealous, you had this staircase that you lived above the bakery. So you had to go outside to go upstairs, and your sister was waiting at the top of the stairs. You didn't see because it was dark, and she pushed you down the stairs, and you passed.
Oh,
She
nice.
hit you with a
Dang.
shovel, so she wouldn't leave any handprints.
Great. Dang.
Mhm. Yeah.
Damn, girl.
Wow.
Yeah. You
So,
died at the ripe old age of 63.
wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
And she took over the bakery because she's like, oh, I inherited it. And she ran it into the ground. She couldn't make anything because your recipes were not written down. They were in your head.
Smart.
So, mhm.
Well,
that's crazy.
I've eaten Pam's cooking, so I believe that.
So
Ask
So-
her about the chocolate crack.
Oh, I remember the chocolate crack. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Enzo wants to know what if she said if she was the witch from Hansel and Gretel.
No. But that maybe that's where the tale
Um,
came from originally, though. No, I'm just kidding.
That is hilarious.
Ashley
Um,
Evans said, with your vision impaired in the physical realm, do you have clarity in the spiritual?
100%. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I
cool.
can kind of jet around. I'm really good at I can kind of live meditate where I can actually walk around spaces while I'm awake mentally and able to connect with spirits and that kind of thing as well. But it can get a lot sometimes if there's a lot of spirits in certain places. And they're the most random places, like, you know, because everybody brings their spirits with them. So I hate going to the grocery store because there's always so many spirits there
Mhm.
because they're with their family. Go to the cemetery and it's like, yeah, you might find a few like hanging out, but like predominantly like Walmart. I no hate to Walmart, but like I
I hate
always
it.
get like the
Places with a lot of
hives. I get
people.
hot.
Yeah.
Yes, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies because there are so many people in one spot plus all of their family, and I'm like,
Yep.
I'll do all 15 if you have to go to get the stuff for paella, really? Like, can we just send one person in, like, for real? You know what I
We
mean?
have to
I'm just
make
like,
sure she buys the right brand.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Great value is not good enough, you know.
I get
Yeah.
overwhelmed at Walmart.
Me
Just-
too. I've almost passed out before.
Wow.
Ugh.
Enzo said they're not dead. Those are just regular Walmart customers.
Yeah, yeah, right.
before we
No,
go
There's a
on,
bunch of those.
let Kristi know what Enzo said that Sylvain was doing that right now. What she was talking
Yeah,
about.
he
me.
was making sweets or
Oh
the
my
cakes
gosh.
and the chocolates and
And
stuff like
isn't
that. Yeah.
she? What country is he in?
I believe
He's in-
Sylvian's in French or French.
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh my gosh. Stop it. That's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
That
Yep.
is crazy cool. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Alicia Smith says, Kristi,
Mhm.
do you have anything I need to know?
So I feel like you're having some lower back problems that I would suggest doing some stretches, especially like the right side of the back for sure. Also, I feel like that there's something about a payment or some sort of money stuff that you're working with, starting to kind of get it either consolidated or paying off debt or something. Start small. Take care of the littlest thing first. I know that maybe you may have some daunting stuff going on, but like just work on the littlest thing first. And also, you got a grandma on mom's side that's with you, watching over you, grandma, great grandma. And she feels like she was somebody who was, I feel like she had a lot of love around her, but also there's something about a clock. I don't know if she had a thing for clocks or if it was that she passed at a specific time that freaked you out. I'm not sure. But that is the tidbits that I have for you.
Cool. And my wife asked the same thing. Do you have anything you need her to know?
You've been eating some spicy food lately, girl? Because I feel like there's something with the spicy, or like because the stomach is not happy right now. Unless you're hungry, but it feels like there's something with the stomach. And also there's the neck and shoulders as well, especially, and also going into the right arm. There's some tension there as well. I feel like does she wear glasses?
Yep.
Because I feel like there's some irritation with the eyes as well. Other things, there's a taller man that's standing to your left. So this is telling me that it's either a dad or grandpa that's passed. And he showed me like trains or like automobiles. Like either he's obsessed with like vehicles or something. or that because he keeps saying change the oil. So and also there's something about a change in financial for the positive around July or August, and something about some travel possibly coming up for you guys as well. Hope that was helpful.
See, Levi, my oldest
Hey,
son,
Levi.
he's on.
Hey. Hey,
He said,
Levi.
he says, do you think time slips could happen on a larger scale? Take, for instance, a commercial flight disappearing mid-flight and reappearing 30 years later as if nothing happened.
What was that movie or that show? Do you remember that? That reminds me of that. There's a
Oh,
show about it.
Um,
Remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
Manifest.
Yeah.
Is it Manifest?
Yeah, Manifest. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, that I do feel like that is possible, because how do you explain the whole like Bermuda Triangle thing? Like there's a lot of things that are just, it is possible, and I think that we're kind of on the fringe of multiple dimensions. So as we're traveling through our lives, we tend to just kind of go in and out of them at, just randomly, and so things can move in a big way. Same thing with like the shifting of countries, and there's like land masses changing and islands appearing and things like that. So
okay. My wife said she had weight loss surgery years ago, so that might be your stomach thing.
yeah.
Then John and Ginger Harmon asks,
Hey.
where'd it go? Yeah, can you tell me about my son's health?
So I feel like there's a lot of tension in the chest. I don't know if there's something with the chest for him, but I feel like there's a lot of something with the chest, and then the lower body, the lower back as well. Um, I feel like there's something along the lines of, let me see. Let me look at the book here. So it feels like that there's a releasing of some sort of relief coming for him. But there's going to be one more scare of sorts before things get better. So just be aware that the next thing that might, the bump in the way, you might feel like it's really, really bad, but it's going to lead to answers, and to to some sort of help as well.
That'd be cool.
I keep seeing white teddy bears. I don't know how old he is, but I keep seeing teddy bears, like white teddy bears. So
I want to say,
and that
is he
symbolizes
20? I think he's like 27.
that symbolizes to me too that, has he had it for a while? Because it symbolizes to me that there's been people watching over him. He's got like little people, like little
He's had it a
young
couple
spirits
years.
around him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have children?
Mm-mm.
Because it's
I
almost
know her
like
well enough. I can help you with the answers.
there's children around him, like almost like sending him lots of light. So, but I do feel like that there is going to be some betterment to his condition, but it's going to be a long road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she
said
said he's had
several
it for several years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one. Well, my wife said she's not sure who the tall man is.
It's like great grandpa and dad. I think dad's side. And somebody who liked vehicles. So I don't know if it's like he was a farmer and he liked tractors. I don't know what the deal is, but there's something about vehicles. And does she need to change her oil?
Maybe. John and Ginger Harmon, she said thank you.
You're welcome.
Then Ashley Evans, she said her friend Katie is with her. She would like to know if you have anything / anyone for her.
So Katie, I feel like you're going through some heartache, and I'm not sure if it's relationship based or if it's family stuff going on. But I feel like that you have had some stuff with valuing yourself, and so I feel like you're on the path to finding your strength and to realizing that you are stronger than you actually feel like you are, and you have a strong spirit. I also feel like there's a small animal that's passed that's around you. I can't tell if it's a dog or a cat, but it's a small animal. So if it's a dog, it's like a little tiny, You also have something with water. I keep seeing that there's, I don't know if you're a water sign, but I do feel like that there is positive movement forward for you with a lot of healing and a lot of change around April for you.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Hope that was helpful.
Okay, then Levi, he again asked, he said, would there be anything he should take heed on or know for the future?
So I feel like you're going to have some food allergies popping up pretty soon. So just be aware of if you're eating some new thing, if your diet starts to affect your digestive, just be aware, just like try to take things out, put things back in. I do feel like that there's something coming up with like competition or like some sort of, I don't know if it's like almost like some sort of competition or some sort of like trying to be more competitive. I don't know, but I do feel like that you've got something going on with like, I see music around you as well. And I keep seeing like love and then a ring. So I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I do feel like there's something about love and a family coming around.
Not yet, Levi.
Don't make the old man a grandpa yet.
No, I think it's more so like finding a soulmate or finding that person and like, you know, not settling down right now, but like finding that person you want to be with
Right.
for the rest of your life.
Cool.
True love.
Yay.
Ashley Evans said thank you.
Of course.
Then Tim Smith said, is there anything he should be aware of?
Don't be careful climbing things, Tim. I keep saying something about like trees or like trying to get up high somewhere like on the roof to fix a shingle or something. Be really careful and have a buddy with you because I feel like it's going to be either raining or something and you're going to try to fix something. Just be careful because I don't want you to have, I feel like there might be a fall. So make sure that your ladder is really sturdy. If you're like getting up, even like fix like something in the house, just make sure that you have a sturdy space to stand on because I feel like there may be some sort of fall happening for you. So now that you have the information, you can avoid that and just be more aware. Also, I feel like that there is the right side feels much heavier for me for you in regards to tension and there's something about dad. I don't know if dad has passed for you or not, but there's something about dad and wanting to communicate or wanting to fix some things with dad. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. And also eat more green apples. Random as heck, but green apples for you, Tim.
Okay.
And Levi, he said thank you, and he said, and yes, Dad isn't going to be a grandfather for a bit.
No. Mm-mm. He's got big plans.
Good. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question while we have a little bit of a lull here. So when you were talking about my past life and you said something about the sister in the past life is now someone that is in the family but not close. Do families stay together throughout life? This just happens to be in this one.
I think that this person owed you karma, and they came back as I want to say they came back as a male, possibly, in this life. I thought it was female, but they feel more masculine to me, unless it's a very masculine female. Mm-hmm. No, usually you choose people to be in your life to accomplish goals or to finish. Either you owe them karma, they owe you karma, that kind of thing. And so no, you just kind of, because we live in these, they're called soul pods. And sounds like a fancy kind of headphone, doesn't it? But no, so but it's where we kind of have our whatever vibration you're in is kind of like where you go, like your community, like it's like a town. And this is like where all the people that are in that community hang out. But you also have people like, say you got Bartlesville and you got Coffeeville and you got Caney. So you collect all these people from these different vibrational pods, soul pods, and then you build your life around it, and you create these people. This one I'm not really fond of, but we'll see if this will work out this time, or this is a challenge for me. I'm going to see if this one can actually work it out. You know, this is a toxic relationship, but I need to go through it to understand what toxic is.
Gotcha. Okay. That's
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
Cool. Tim, he said, yeah, there's definitely been a bad communication between him and his dad since his mom passed.
Mhm. I think I feel like that's going to fix itself in time. But I think that I think your dad blames himself in a lot of ways. And he feels guilty for something or other. So just space and grace. Nothing you can do. Just give him space and just be like, look, I get it, you know. Mhm.
It's a good way to put it. I like that.
Mhm.
I like
Space
it.
and grace.
I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
Go for it. Absolutely. Yeah, it's what I usually. It started popping up for clients. I'm like, well, you need to give them space and you need to give them grace. So, and it's any religion, any walk of life, space and grace is what you got to give people, living or deceased.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, he said, how do you like that? That was a good way of putting that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I have a question. How do you think our
Mhm.
podcast is going to do?
Oh yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
it's
prediction.
So I think it's going to go really well. I think you may add somebody else to the mix. Mid year, or you may have like something where you're going to be, but I do feel like it's going to be very successful. I feel like you're going to have some really interesting topics and really cool guests as well, and maybe some controversy as well, which never hurts anything to stir up the pot a little bit, you know.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Of course,
Nice.
these two. It happened with these two, yeah.
Hey, what are you
Right.
saying?
I mean, I think everybody's stirring the pot. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good deal.
It's
That's
probably
exciting.
me. I'll probably do it.
Mhm.
But
Oops.
you'll have a fabulous time doing it.
I will.
Yes.
I will.
100%.
I think it'd be fun to come back sometime and trance read for you guys. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, that'd be
I'm sorry.
cool.
Oh,
Be fun to do what? I'm sorry.
Trance read, where I let my spirit guides come through and give you guys open messages without me communicating. That might be fun sometime.
That would be
That
really
would be
fun.
fun.
That would
Yeah.
be fun.
wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
My guide
I-
Abigail
yeah.
will come through.
That would be awesome. I have a question, a little off the topic of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You have been a paranormal investigator and have gone out and done these investigations before.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever encountered something that was too big or too scary for you to handle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. We did a investigation in Woodward, Oklahoma, of a residence that the couple, they actually, and you probably heard about this, Pam, already, but Doc likes to tell this story. But Woodward, this couple, they bought this house, and the old hospital came with it, and
Oh.
they were going to turn it into an Airbnb or like a bed and breakfast, and it was ruined. Like, it was horrible. Still had the morgue, still had all the windows were all blown out. Like, it was a mess. Like, you could tell it was like. So we went there on a rainy day, and everything was going good. The husband was like, the wife was like, I will only go this far. I won't go any further. I just don't feel welcome this far. And so we went in, and everything was going fine. I'm like, this spirit's over here. There's nurses over here. There's this, there's that. It was very busy, but it was happy busy. It was like, oh yay, like it just felt like a lot of positive energy. So we got upstairs, and The guys were gonna shine the camera up into the attic, and there was some sort of spot, I think on the EMS, I can't remember. And my friend Doc, he's like, hey, he's like, Kristi, come over here. And I walked over there, and there was something that looked like a child, and it hissed at me, and it turned to a black mess and shot up into the attic, and I was like, nope, I'm out.
Oh
Well,
my goodness.
yeah, it felt very dark and like very, very old demonic dark energy. We went down to the basement, and you know how old buildings, they're crumbling and stuff. The morgue there was sheetrock. It was perfect. There was no cracks, nothing. This man had sheetrocked over the morgue. I don't know if it was to keep something in or keep something out. I'm not sure. It got creepier because we were investigating, and then the guy got tired, and he's like, oh, everything's going to stop around midnight. And we're like, oh, how do you know that? And he's like, oh, I know, basically. So we hang out until like, I think around 2 a.m. Like, everything stopped around midnight. We're trying to get more things. We're like, oh, he's like, nothing will happen because I won't let it happen. And you think of The Shining, and I'm like, are you like Jack Nicholson in The Shining? Red rum.
Right.
And we were all in different areas, like the basement, the second floor up. Like, I was untangling the cords for the camera, and we all heard a baby cry all at once. It was the last thing that it was. It was a baby cry from everywhere. And we're just like, so we go back to our hotels because we're staying the night. And I was supposed to share with one of the girls, and she decided to stay with her sister. And so I take a bath, I go to bed around, like 4:00 in the morning. This thing wakes me up, and it's like, if you ever come back, you will get harmed. Then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to come back. No, I will heed your. And then the next day, the people in the group are like, we should get a shaman out here. I'm like, I'm going to all the way nope out of here and never come back. And they're like, oh, come on. I'm like, nope, I got warned. I will not. So that was scary to me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
was
would have
scary.
noped right out of that. That's
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think
when
one of
they
the guys
tell
went up
you
in the
to
attic.
stay away.
Yeah. I think one of the guys went up into the attic and got attacked, got scratched. And I'm like, this is why you don't do the things that you do.
Right.
this is why women live longer than men.
Yes. We're chickens. We're like, we're fearless to a point. And then it's like, nope.
Yeah, if you're going to tell me
sin.
something like that, I'm going to believe you, and I'm going to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a creepy story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Real quick, Tim, you said he does wonder about his mom from time to time.
Yeah, she's with him. I keep saying something about like flowers or roses, and I also keep feeling like that. I don't know if you cook, Tim, but she's like the tradition of your food, whether it's something simple or not. But she likes it when you cook. She says you need to eat more. You're too thin, and she's smirking. So I don't know if that's true, or if it's like she's teasing you. I'm not sure what that's all about, but she's with you.
That's awesome.
All right.
She's also sending little gray birds too, like little gray sparrows or something. So look for the sparrows.
Speaking of birds,
Wow.
I've been seeing a lot of cardinals, and I understand the meaning behind cardinals is it's a loved one that's passed on.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, do you have any idea who that could be for me or my wife?
Feels like it's a man. Feels like it is a on your side. Is Dad passed for you?
Yep.
It's Dad. Yeah. And it's almost like apologetic. There's some sort of apology.
Wow. That's it's pretty deep.
Yeah. But also he's very proud of you too. Do you have his car? What's with the car?
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't have that.
Okay. Because it keeps talking about your. Maybe that's who was talking about the car. Maybe I don't know, but it's almost like that could be the tall man that I was seeing around. I don't know. But he keeps talking about that he didn't mean to disappoint, and that he wants you to know that he did think way more of you than you thought he did.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
That hits home.
Yeah. Does somebody have a spirit named Margaret? That's like a person named Margaret that's in spirit. I kept hearing Margaret says hello. Margaret says hello. Margaret says hello. So any of y'all listening out there that have a Margaret that's passed on, she says hello.
That's awesome.
Fair enough. I can't recall anybody in my family or
She's a very assertive older lady. So, and I don't have a
Wow.
Margaret in my life. So yeah,
I don't
I
either.
don't know Margaret either, so
I
maybe
think
it's
it's one of our
somebody that's
listeners.
maybe
in
it's
the
one of the
chats.
listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in the
Mhm.
chat. Do you have a
Um,
Margaret that's passed?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, Kristi, do you come across that often where people will have odd things like beyond birds or things like that that kind of show up as a sign of their loved ones
Mhm.
being around?
Yeah.
Um,
They fall into many categories. Because spirits, they all have. It's almost like, you know how we all have different hair color or skin color or eye color. Spirits have a different way of communicating. So some of them can do the whole bird thing or the animal thing. Some can
Mhm.
come across in music or movies, or like, oh, this is the line that like it gets me. I've seen this movie a million times, and yet this line gets me because it makes me think of that person. They come across in your dreams. Those are good ones. And then some can actually project themselves to be seen physically, but it's got to work.
Mhm.
It's got to work both ways in that regard. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's interesting. I've always had I believe, I think it
Mhm.
is, my grandma on my mom's side comes through with money. And not
Mhm.
like big bills or anything, but just
Pennies.
like a yeah, a penny here or a dime there. And
Mhm.
I always know when she's like with me again for a while, she vamooses occasionally and I don't see it anymore. And then she'll be
Mhm.
back in and I'll find pennies and dimes and nickels and just
Oh yeah.
everywhere.
That's very very common. Also, for them to leave money. I think one of my favorite stories is my great grandpa passed away on New Year's Day many years ago, and my grandparents and my aunt were cleaning out his house, and um, somebody in the family was finding coins already. Like they were like finding things. My grandma goes to go in the room, and somebody wrote hello on the mirror, and she's like, "Oh, okay." And then she goes to leave the room, and a penny just comes rolling down and it rests by the door where she's at. She's like, "Okay, I'm out of here." So it's kind of fun. She was
Wow.
like, "No more, Grandpa." So yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
My wife said she had an aunt that they called Marge, but I don't hardly remember her.
Okay. Did she have like? I feel like she had some dark hair. I don't know. Um, I don't know. She was very insistent that Margaret said hello. She's since gone past, so I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't. That could be. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Mm.
Then Chris said she always finds two dimes together. She always wonders if it's her twin grandbabies.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
usually that means there's two together. It means that there's two spirits together. Yeah.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
I have an interesting one, and it made me
Mhm.
think about it when you were talking about things just appearing. I don't
Mhm.
know if Jen and Ginger are still in the chat or not, but I had this book show up. My son was home, and this book
Mhm.
showed up in my hallway, and I don't know if you guys can see behind me down at the end of my hallway. There's a big bookcase down there, and it was laying there, and I looked at it, and it was a book by Jenny Colgan, and it's one that I had thought about purchasing at one time, but I never had. And so I asked my son, hey, where'd you find this? And he was like, it was laying in the middle of the floor. So, I thought the cat knocked it off the shelf. So I picked it up and put it up there. And I was like, I don't think it's my book. So when I took it with me to work. And when I got there, I looked on every site that I buy books off, like 4 or 5 different sites, couldn't find it anywhere. So, and it's an older book. I went ahead and we didn't have it. And it's a popular author, or one that I like. So I went ahead and put it on, and like the next day it went out to another library. But it was just, where the heck did this book come from? Am I crazy?
No, I think that it was somebody who's like, sometimes they leave thoughtful gifts, like, oh, she'd like to read this book, so I'll leave it for her too. And they could take it from, spirits can move objects. I think, like, go to some place and be like, oh, I'll just borrow this. And then I have crystals that walk around on their own, and that's not having, spirits sometimes do it too. Like, things just move. Things tend to just.
I've had
I think, yeah, I think that you had a spirit who was just like a loved one who's like, she loves to read. I'll leave this for her right here if she can find it, right in the middle of the floor.
It was hard to miss.
Oh
Just
yeah,
thought that was crazy. But, we were trying to figure it out. We were actually talking about it at book club on Thursday too. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't even a spooky book. It was just a book. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I had a client who, he's a professor in California, and he had something very similar where the book disappeared from him. And it was kind of crazy because he loved The Grapes of Wrath. He loved that book. And he had, I don't know if it was the first edition. It was it was expensive. And he came to me, and I'm not great with lost objects. It's one of my least. I can do it sometimes, but like, I'm not great at finding things. So don't ask me to find your car keys. But this woman, he was like, can you help me find it? Because I was going to school at the time, and he knew what I could do. And I'm like, I don't know. It's around here somewhere. And I'm like, there's a woman that's going to bring it back to you, I think. I just was half jokingly. And he was single. He was divorced. Well, one of the, I don't know, she was a nursing student, so totally different department than he was philosophy. And she found it on top of her car, and he had one of those little cards that has like belongs to so and so in there. So she comes in and she's like, I found your book on my car. She parked on the other side of campus, was in a totally different building. Wow. They're married now.
That is wild. So that was kind of a, what's hilarious? Well, the name of the book that showed up, it's a Jenny Colgan is the author, and it's My Very 90s Romance, I think is what it was called. Something like that.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Levi put in there rule number 1 about book club. Nobody talks about book club.
Book club, yeah.
Hey, us librarians take that serious, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fun. Awesome.
Cue the cat.
Was that your kitty? Wow.
Yeah. She's hungry, but she's already been fed, so she's complaining avidly, loudly.
She's trying to tell us. Yeah. She's abusing me. I'm starving.
Well, they're out of cat treats, and they don't know it yet, so I gotta buy more.
Shit, that's serious,
they
man.
They know.
Mine just eats dog food.
Oh yeah.
Dog food?
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
I try to give them like the dry cat food. It's like a here's a treat. They're like, screw you. She's coming up here right now to prove her point. Miss Ma'am.
Yeah.
Human.
We'll feed our cat
now.
And you guys that were, you guys were at the house. You remember my big German Shepherd? I don't think we let him out. Our big German Shepherd.
Uh-huh.
And
Mhm.
last night we look over and the cat and the German Shepherd are eating in the same bowl. I'm like,
Oh. Well, it's functional, I guess.
yeah, I guess.
Buddy.
That's
Something funny
hilarious.
on that. My wife and I have noticed, and maybe this is the wrong show for it. I don't know, but
Mhm.
if we buy, because we bought like half a cow like last summer,
Mhm. Yeah.
and or maybe towards the end of summer, early fall, something like that. I don't remember when, something like that. But sometimes, we'll forget to set something out for dinner or whatever. She'll be in a hurry in the morning before she sets something out, and I'll like swing by Walmart and get a package of burger or something like that.
Mhm.
And the cat will leave us alone, won't mess with us, nothing like that. But if we break out burger from that side of beef that we bought, she will not leave us alone. She goes crazy.
Really? Oh my
I'm
gosh,
like,
like that's the real
Very
thing.
picky.
yeah, I'm like, is that a sign saying we shouldn't eat this? I mean,
I think it's
Probably.
more so. I think it's more so that she's the smell of raw meat is because it's not super processed. Like say if you
Right.
bought it from Walmart, that
Uh-huh.
it's cats love raw meat. They're
Oh,
not
yeah.
supposed to have it as much, but it's like their primitive side. It's like give me meat, So
Yeah.
I would tend to be more worried about what's in the Walmart
I
meat
know it. That's kind of
that's
what
not
my wife
appealing.
said.
so true.
A lot of that is
Yeah.
ammoniated,
Yep.
Ooh,
and so it will
Yeah.
smell. And
Yeah.
I think the animals can smell it.
Yep.
Yes, I think so too.
that's
I get my
crazy.
I get my meat from Aldi. I'm like, I need my yeah.
You
I
know,
think
there's
Aldi's meat is better, I think, than Walmart's
It is.
meat.
Or
Definitely.
is.
Sprouts, like either one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there's worse
yeah.
things in the world than being allergic to red meat. I can tell you that. I don't. Yeah, for reasons like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I gotta admit, most of the hamburger I buy is pretty much pink slime.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
so gross.
Well,
Just
you can
gotta
even
fry it up in
taste
the
the
pan
difference.
and
You
yeah.
can
Oh
taste
yeah.
the difference,
Ugh.
but it keeps forever.
Chicken. Eat chicken.
And that should probably be a bad sign.
I mean,
Yeah, the fact
it,
that it doesn't. Yeah.
wait, we're all over the age of 40, right? Yes?
hmm
Maybe?
Oh yeah,
No.
Definitely.
So like we're
Yep.
like Generation X, right? We've been pickled with like spam and like all the crap that they put in our diets. So we're just like we're pickled, so we can't be killed by rotten meat. Like they can't end us in that way because we've been like I remember spamming, spam sandwiches, like
Oh, yeah.
bologna, like
Yep.
and
Bologna sandwiches.
Oh
oh
yeah.
yeah, like yeah.
Those,
So I
were,
mean we're
those were the bomb.
mystery
Fried
meat.
bologna sandwich.
Mystery
Yeah.
yeah, with some tomato. Yeah, absolutely. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Funny.
Oh, I
Mhm.
love
So
fried spam to this day.
me too.
Yep.
Me too.
I bought some.
That's
it's been
my
a couple
favorite
months.
breakfast food.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bought
the
some a
best
couple months
thing-
ago and introduced my kids. So here you
The
go.
best thing is if you get an everything bagel and you butter it and you put some fried spam and a slice of pineapple on it, that is the bomb. Just
I mean,
saying.
I'm
We
willing to
listen
try it.
to
It
you. I'll
sounded
take your
really
word
good
for
until you
that.
hit pineapple, but I'm willing to try it.
Or you could put cheese on it and it'd be the same thing.
Everything
Mm.
bagel. That's good. I can handle that.
But the spam, oh man. It's so bad, but it's so good. Kind of like Tang. Like
So
it's
bad
like
that it's good.
Oh, I love Tang.
me too.
I have Tang, individual packets of Tang in my
Do
locker
you?
at work
Yeah.
right now at this
That's
very moment.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
I love
so
Tang.
I'm going to confess
Ovaltine.
to something really gross. You guys are
Okay.
going to think so much less of me, but I'm going to say it
We
anyway.
will
no.
always love you.
Tell us, we'll love you, girl.
So growing up, I used to spend a lot of time out at my grandparents' house, and my grandfather didn't care for milk, but he loved cereals, and he loved Honey Cheerios,
Uh-huh.
and he loved Tang, and my grandma would always keep a pitcher of cold Tang in the refrigerator, and he would put Tang on his. And
Oh
I
my
always thought it
gosh.
was so weird. I decided to try it one day. She was like, "Go ahead and try it. Won't hurt you." And I tried it. I fell in love with it. And to this day, I will only eat Honey Nut Cheerios with Tang.
With
I don't
Tang. Hey, that's awesome.
Funny.
I mean, sure, why
My
not?
wife said,
It's a kick
"My
in
wife
the
said, Tang, it's a kick in the glass."
Yeah.
Hey, there you
And I
go.
will,
Yeah.
I will say this, like, grandma didn't make Tang like it said on the directions. Like, this stuff was thick. Like,
Uh,
It was thick,
Yeah.
and I make it that way. I don't think it tastes quite the same as it used to, but it just maybe because
No.
I'm
No, it's
older
because they're using
now.
artificial sweeteners because it fits in the
Yeah.
packet better.
Because
yeah,
because
like-
Tang grows on trees, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Astronauts.
Oh
do.
yeah.
That's why I like it
Astronauts
because the
drink it.
astronauts drink it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I miss that. I miss the whole like Ovaltine thing. That was like
Yeah.
I love that
Mhm.
stuff. Like carnation instant breakfast. Oh, I'm
Oh,
Asian.
yeah.
but
I
that was
tried
so
to
good.
get my kid
I
to
still
drink.
buy that once in a while. It's good breakfast sometimes.
Strawberry's my favorite. Yeah.
Big dog.
I tried to get my kid to drink
Strawberry.
YooHoo, and he hates it. He thinks it's disgusting.
Oh,
I'm like,
really? Oh.
yeah. He's spoiled.
Now it's all about like bubbly water and like all the like the coconut water. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's cool and all, but like that doesn't hit like, like a
Like
strawberry
Kool-Aid.
or Kool-Aid. Yes.
That's what I grew up
Yeah.
on was Kool-Aid.
Me
I drank a lot of
too.
Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Kool-Aid,
cherry
or
Kool-Aid.
that fake juice that came in the barrels. Do you
The
remember little
barrels,
plastic
yes.
barrels?
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah.
With
I
the
forgot about that.
the foil lid you could push your
Yes.
straw through.
Yes.
I love
Oh,
yeah.
stabbing those little suckers.
Or like the
You guys-
Capri Suns. Those were
Yeah.
fun
Oh
too.
yeah, Capri Suns.
Yeah, and like the ramen noodles. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I
Did
still
you
eat
guys
ramen
ever
all
have
the time.
the
Me
milk
too.
that came in the plastic pouches at school?
Oh
Mm.
yes.
You remember those?
Yes.
Where you like stuck the straw in the very center
Yeah.
and you had to like push it back and forth.
Fight it. Yes. You're like, I want my milk. And it's like, I'm just gonna tear the whole thing up and just hope that I don't spill it. Yeah. Oh yeah. I hated
That
those
was the-
things, but
That was the big
so good,
thing
though.
was milk in the plastic
Mhm.
bags instead of
oh yeah.
the
Mhm.
carton.
Mm, Yeah.
Ugh.
A blast from the past.
Oh
Yahoo.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Enzo.
What do you say?
He said MRE cocoa beverage powder, creamer, and sugar
Right.
packets. We call them
Oh yeah.
Yahoos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, had 'em. If
I
you
mean,
take
it's-
those, the creamer and the cocoa beverage powder, we always did for our pound cakes and MREs. Mix the creamer and the cocoa beverage
Ah.
powder with a little bit of water.
Uh-huh.
Make it thick. And you could ice your pound cake with it.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was almost,
Oh wow.
Oh
that was
my-
almost that was almost a travesty though, because the pound cake was the best one. It was your best
Oh.
dessert.
It's like slim pickings there, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Too cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Real quick, I saw Alicia ask something, kind of circling back.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
said, "Can pets communicate with you? I always wonder what they're thinking."
Oh yeah, living and deceased, absolutely. And the funny thing is like they're usually like, I want food, or I want belly scratches, or I had one lady, oh my gosh, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and like it was a phone reading because she lived in Baltimore, and she had a cat that it would just freak out and it would run outside all the time. And so she got him inside. His name was Pepper. I remember that. I don't know why. I don't remember a lot of people, but I remember Pepper. And I was like, Pepper, what's going on? And I just got, tell her to get out. There's gas. So I'm like, you got to get out of your house. There's a gas leak. And she's like, what? I'm like, there's a gas leak. So she believed me because she was like, I'm like, the cat says. And she's like, okay. So she got out of her house and she called somebody, and they came out, and sure enough, she had a gas leak.
Wow.
Now that
The
is
cat knew.
That's wild.
yeah. Well, cats can smell that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
My
Yeah.
my aunt, she loves animals. She used to work at the zoo in Wichita. She was a curator up
Oh
there.
nice.
She had a pet raccoon. And this thing was fat.
Oh. Nice.
And,
so cute.
Those things are evil.
Oh, they're cute though.
They are cute.
but
it
evil.
but it passed on. It died.
Mm.
And she
Mhm.
had a picture with all of her other animals, dogs and cats and all that. And in the picture, you could see two little eyes next to
Oh.
one of the animals, and it was like the perfect height for the raccoon.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
That's so
That's
cool.
awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Oh.
Oh, I'm getting-
What?
Enzo. He said, "Oh, I'm getting that
What
leg."
With those zingers, what did he say?
Said,
He
"Oh,
put
I'm
up
getting
a-
that leg."
He put up
Oh.
an emoji of a
Guardians of the
raccoon.
Galaxy. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That is hilarious.
Man, I can't believe we're coming up on 2 hours.
I
Oh,
know.
wow. So
Time
much
flies.
fun.
It's been a good
Yep.
show.
It has been a
Has
great
been.
show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't look like there's a lot going on in the chat anymore, like questions and anything like that. Just comments, But Kristi, if people want to reach out to you, maybe get a
Yeah.
one-on-one or a personal reading,
Mhm.
something that they don't want to put out on the podcast or
course.
anything like that, where can
Yeah.
they reach you?
So I have a website. It's www.kindredinsights.com. That's www.kindredinsights.com. I have a YouTube page where I do horoscopes. It's called Messages and Melodies. I'm Kindred Insights on TikTok. Facebook, I don't really read Facebook that often, so that'd be a lost cause. But but I do have on my website, you can book a reading. I've got over 35 services, and if you want to you don't know where to go or what to book, there's at the bottom of the page, you scroll down and it's got like a form you could fill out and ask me like, hey, what should I do? I want to kind of find this out. Or if you're like, hey, can you whatever you want to ask, it'll just ask you for your name, your email, your phone number, and like subject line, and then like the regular email, and you can send me any kind of questions or comments. So
Cool.
Half-hour readings all my prices are the same. Any kind of service you book, half hour is $50, 1 hour is $100, 2 hours $200. That's it. So I can't keep anybody more than 2 hours because I'm like I start to deplete. So I do mostly via phone sessions. I have done Zoom in the past, but I'm not really great at it. So predominantly it's phone, or if you want like a video chat, I could figure something out. I could finagle something, but usually it's phone. I've got clients from all over the place that put a cool phone. Facebook, same thing. Or I don't have Snapchat because I've been catfished a lot on there. I don't let it bother me, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on there. But the website is the best way to get a hold of me. I can call you. You can call me. Got my phone number on there as well. So
Awesome.
We'll put your
Yeah.
contact
Nice.
info up on our Facebook
Yeah,
page.
we'll throw that up there.
Thank
And
you.
you can always, if you're in the area, you can always come see her at the Paracon in September.
Paracon.
Woohoo!
Absolutely.
So,
yes,
yeah.
for
September
sure.
28th
Looking
this year
forward.
in Cheney.
Yeah.
And
The
speaking
28th, you
of,
said, yeah?
you guys said the 28th of September, right? The date
28th.
for this year's.
Yep.
It's the last Saturday of September.
Nice.
So write that down in your books, guys, everybody. Love to see you out there. So it's a great time. Awesome people.
I can't wait.
Yeah, if you want to come
Um,
hang out with all of us cool people, we'll all
That's
be
right.
there.
Yes.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Some of us are cooler than others,
right.
and I'm not
You are,
that
Mark.
one. I'm not that
Sure.
person. I'm not that person.
No.
Real quick, Sylvian, he said, "Thanks, guys. She's a really cool guest."
Thank you.
She is a very cool
Enzi,
guest.
Kristi's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Ashley Evans, she said, "Great show. Thanks all." I mean, you guys are part of it. I mean, you guys. This is
Yeah.
your show just as much as it is ours. And my
It's
wife
a
said
family.
she wants to get a reading in person.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So
My wife says, "Thanks, guys. Great show."
yep.
Enzo said he'll be there at the Paracon too. So the
Well, yeah.
coolest
All
person of all of
right.
us will be
That's
at
right.
Paracon.
And the snappiest
Hey.
dresser.
That's right.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
All right. Nice. The yoga pants and tank tops don't count. No.
I mean, I tried that once. I got some strange looks.
Well, the tank top goes on your upper body, Mark.
Oh,
I was doing something wrong. Yeah.
no.
It's basically like
It's
a
not
one,
a G-string.
like a reverse onesie.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I walked into that one. All right.
Yeah, don't forget next Wednesday, 7 Central. Bordertown Strange. You guys are talking
Yes.
cursed objects,
Woo-hoo.
correct?
Cursed
Cursed
objects.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah, we're
digging
gonna take a
around for
deep dive.
We're gonna deep dive. We're digging around for some lesser known cursed object stories, and we'll
Okay.
throw in some of the good oldies as well. And
I found a
Mhm.
cursed object that everybody owns.
What's that?
Cell phone.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
I
Cell
agree
phone?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not really surprising.
Yeah, we're gonna be
It's
talking about that.
cursed objects for Valentine's Day. Absolutely.
Right, cursed objects Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Cursed
John
Valentine's. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Hey.
Everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun with your guys' interaction. That's the highlight of the show, I think, is you guys that are
Mhm.
watching,
Absolutely.
listening. If
And
you're
thank
not,
you guys
if
so
you're-
much for having me too. I really appreciate it.
Oh no,
Oh,
anytime.
anytime.
I mean, we got to have you back. We've
Absolutely.
got to have you
Yeah.
back.
Absolutely.
If you feel
So-
like you have something you need to say, you just let us know and we will have
Yep.
you on.
I
Sure,
mean,
yeah.
No
that's a
questions
loaded that's a loaded question. To be like, okay, what are we talking about today, guys? No.
No, come on,
Awesome.
come on. We got to.
We'll make you a regular. I don't care. We love you.
I mean, you've already got the intro down, so
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah,
True.
you're shoe in.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Oh, so much fun.
yeah, Kristi, it's as always, it's a pleasure. I enjoy talking to you.
Thank
You're such a
you.
great person, and
Thank you.
I hear nothing but high regards from everybody that interacts with you. So, I mean, definitely, you guys go support
Same.
her. She's an amazing person. She'll blow your mind. But genuinely, I mean, she's just an awesome person to hang out with. She's so positive and just uplifting just to be around. So
And a
I
little
think
frozen at the moment. It
I
looks
think
like.
she's frozen at the time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Dang nabbit.
Also, don't forget next Monday, Mark and I with What If Tomorrow podcast. We're going to break out some of our cool bug out bag items and things like that to kind of show you guys what we are building and have on the ready. Preparedness items, I should say, not just bug out bag stuff. Man, I hate to close it out with her froze up like that.
I know. Darn it.
Well,
Aw,
looks like
bummer.
we lost her.
Shoot.
Well, heck. We'll
At
give
least
her
it waited till the end of the show.
I know it. I know
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We'll give her a second to see if she comes back. But man, she's awesome. I mean,
She's
Yeah,
the
she-
greatest.
she
She
is.
really is. She is one of the happiest, sweetest people you could ever meet.
yep, she is absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean, just being around her kind of lifts your spirits. I mean,
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's even happy when she's ill. So,
Yeah.
little backstory, we were going to have her on for the last show, but she messaged me right before like the day before and was like, "Girl, I just came back from vacation and I am so sick." But she was upbeat through that entire phone message. She was just like, "I don't feel great, but I really want to do it, and I think maybe I'll just have some tea." And I was just like, "Girlfriend, just be sick. It's okay."
yeah,
Well-
we'll be here when you're better.
well, Yeah, I was like, "We can just
Absolutely.
push your show back." And she tried forever. I was just like, "You gotta stop." She was like, "I can't let you down. We're gonna do this." And I was like, "It's okay." Yep. But she didn't have a bad word about it while she was sick. She was just still very upbeat about everything. So I don't know
Yeah,
how she
for
does
sure.
that.
Yeah.
I don't either,
she's
but
pretty
she
cool.
does. She's great. We will always sing her praises.
Absolutely.
Good
Yeah,
people.
She's awesome.
Very
Well,
good people. Darn it.
I'm
Oh, I
guessing
don't
she's
think
not going to make it back.
Yeah.
My wife, she said, the next Paracon, I'm bringing my money.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Chris, she said she's helped several in her family to heal a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. She just she does it because she loves it.
Yep.
Well,
She really does have a gift.
She does, for
Absolutely.
sure.
I'm 100% sold on her. There's some people out there like, yeah, you're kind of fooling a little bit, but
Yeah.
if you guys that are listening remind. I mean, she's blind.
Yeah.
She can't pick up your facial cues and all that, and your body language. She can't pick that up. That's what sold me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I guess with that being said, I guess, guys, we'll see you Monday. See you Wednesday, hopefully, on Bordertown
Yep.
Strange.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Phil and Mark are going to be our guests. So
Oh,
we'll just
okay.
talk about all things cursed. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But
We'll
It's
just
weird to
continue
say
the
that
party
they're going to
over
be our
there.
guests.
I know.
I know.
Continue
eh?
the party over there.
well, everybody, again, thank you in the chat for hanging out. And it's a lot of fun. And we'll see you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.